Hello, it's Jang here with a look at a LEGO DC superhero set. This is Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas. Comes with 347 pieces. I want to look at the Bat Mech first because it's the biggest thing in the set. And even though it is big, it is very stable. It has a very play-worthy build to it with friction in the joints and lots of articulation. You can wave the hand up above. You can actually grab Batman and scratch his fake ears on his mask if you want to with the hand. The hand has, you can articulate at the wrist, so you can really get some different motions there. It's got 4 little fingers on it, 3 regular fingers and a thumb. You can move all of those, but the thumb doesn't really work all that well. You can go up and down, you can kind of do a thumbs up kind of look, but it doesn't come in, so it doesn't help you to really grab things. But other than that, the arm articulation is good. Over here, you've got this net shooter. Actually, this has a couple of things going on with it. This can be turned in various different ways. That works out pretty well. It's got a pair of stud shooters up on the top that are very securely attached, and those are easy to shoot either both at the same time or one at a time. And they do give you some extra ammo because you are likely to lose some of these over time. Fortunately, the orange color kind of stands out against most things, but over time you can lose some of those. Got a couple cannons in the front, a couple of lights. This is actually a piece from a large action figure, and it's used to good effect here. As far as the legs, you can see that the legs are actually splayed out. They've got the ability to rotate a little bit here, so you can kind of start to do the splits a little bit and still have the feet on the ground, or you can bring them in. You can also get a little bit of a walking motion because you've got the ability to go this way as well with the ankles, so you can start to put them going forward. See, that's good. That's what I want to be able to do with a walking build. The bat wings on this thing are adjustable, so you can bring them up if you want to, or you can kind of bring them all the way down for just a different look, maybe when it's in trouble or when it's first coming up, and then you just spread those out like, ha, I'm here now. The one thing that I kind of skipped over here is the net launcher. I usually don't like how these things work. They've done this a number of times. You have to really stuff the net in there. You have to fold it up just right. And the idea is that you would be able to actually catch Grodd with this thing, and that would happen from pushing this out pretty quickly. It sometimes will open up the net, sometimes it won't. Really depends upon exactly how you fold it up and get it in there. But these are kind of hit or miss for me. Looking at the control console, you see I've already got Batman in place here, and he's on one of these display stands, which is actually a super jumper base. If you haven't seen these before, they're pretty cool. They allow your figure to look like it's kind of hovering in the air, but it also has an additional feature to it. Let me just quickly show you the console there. Just one little stickered piece shows it's got Grodd in his sights, and this whole area here, this whole cockpit actually integrates with the design of the super jumper function, so this will hold it in place securely. It's not going to fall out even though it's not attached with any studs or anything, but it also helps the jump to work. With this little part back here pulled back, it gives you access to the center little tab, and you just kind of get a good grip on that from underneath and on the top of this, and just give it a little squeeze and then let go. Oops, that didn't quite work. Let's try that again. Just didn't get the angle quite right. Just doing the same thing. There we go. And see, it really launches your figure out, and you can do that with any of the figures. Any normal figure actually will fit on one of these stands. Speaking of figures, let's take a quick break from the built-up stuff to look at the figures. Left to right, obviously Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and an innocent bystander, just a regular citizen who's a truck driver in this set. And the last one on the right is Captain Cold. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be knowledgeable about these superheroes' figures and the differences and the changes that they've made over time, so I'm just going to show you exactly what you get here, and I'll leave it to the experts to point out and recognize specific differences versus earlier versions. Here's a look at all the figures from the back, and I do want to point out that Batman has the nicer style of cape now, the softer, kind of heavier feeling, less likely to crinkle and crease. See, I just folded that over and you don't see any evidence of a crease in there. This is much better material. It's a little bit stretchy too, way better than the old stuff that they used to use. I actually hated that old cape material. Just look at the print on the back of his torso, and some of these have alternate faces. So there's a look at those from the back on those heads, and with all the headgear removed, this will also give you a better look at the full fronts and the full prints on the fronts of their faces. The weapon in Captain Cold's hand is called the Devastating Ice Shooter. A little bit oversized, but a nice build actually. I think that looks pretty good. Of course, we can't forget about Gorilla Grodd. Let go of that guy, dude. So rude. I'm trying to do a review here. You know, I'm not a big fan of big figs, but I think this is a pretty good one. For the character that it's trying to be, I think it looks good. I think it's got the right stance. It's got enough motion, as you saw, being able to pick up the guy, of course, but you know, just all the normal stuff that you expect and need for a character of this type, I think is covered with this figure. I'm not missing neck articulation, you know, the ability to turn the head, because it really needs to have that really thick neck, and all the fur that just kind of integrates down into the body is really important. And it's hard to get a neck to turn without making it look like you've just kind of cut it really awkwardly. So to me, this is a good big fig. This is another really interesting feature of the set. Wonder Woman's famous invisible jet. Very difficult to film something that's invisible, or at least that's trying to be invisible. Fortunately, it's not completely invisible, but it does have a lot of clear stuff on it, and it's clever what they did to get around the fact that they don't have every part available in complete trans clear, because the fuselage of the thing is not clear at all. It's white and light bluish gray. But the way that works out, and with what you expect for the shape of Lego pieces, and you know, being able to see studs and stuff, it's pretty good. I feel like the amount of light that's refracted and also shaded around the edges of these clear tail pieces that they've got here in 2 sizes just really complements the gray color, especially where it connects in there. So it really doesn't feel wrong to me. Even though it's not all clear, it still feels right. It still feels pretty good. I think the things that are most off about it are these spring-loaded projectiles out here. Just because the tails stick out so much, that's kind of unfortunate. I think maybe flick missiles would have been a better choice here, but these are better for playability because it's easy to shoot them off, especially with how thin things are out here. I think it just becomes a little bit more durable to actually play with. You get the little exhausts back here, which are part clear, part trans light blue. So a nice little gradient there. Very nice looking pieces. Yeah, you got a number of clear things here. The cockpit doesn't have any detail in it because that would have really messed up the illusion. There's Wonder Woman in her seat. You see she has to really lay way back. And yeah, bubble canopy fits down over it. And it looks pretty good actually. For something that's not completely clear, I feel like they did a really good job of approximating the idea. This is a really cool little build, little 3-wheel micro truck that's hauling a bunch of bananas. Got your banana company logos on the front of it and also on the doors. I love this build. It's just such a cool thing, and a type of thing that you wouldn't normally see from Lego. You can remove the crate back here. Got 4 bananas in there, and it also has a little bit of a kind of an action feature to it. In that, well, first of all, you can take off the roof to get your guy in there more easily. You can remove this entire rear section on the hull. It makes it even easier to get in there. But the biggest thing is that this is able to start to be crushed. So Grodd can, you know, really attack this thing, and you can see that he just grabbed it and just bent the entire frame. And that's by design in the center there. Such a simple little way to get that idea in there, but it's really well done. Notice the bracket pieces here, the short bracket pieces are included. That's the 1 1/3 height, and they're included here in blue. You can really bend that thing up. Look at that. You can also bend it this way if you want to, and it'll still roll, even like that. Hey, maybe that's how it's supposed to be. And then you could have your Gorilla Grodd actually being a good guy, you know, for a little comedic situation. Have him come in and everybody's all scared. No, he's going after the banana truck, and he just straightens the frame. There you go, just helping out. So there you go. Again, I'm not a big follower or fan of the superheroes universes in general, but I am a fan of this set. Every single thing about this set is good. The Mech, I think, is probably the least good looking thing out of all these, even though it is the largest. I just think it has the least interesting details, but it's got great playability, great play value to it. The invisible jet is done in an interesting way and has some cool clear pieces. The little truck I love, Grodd. I don't like big figs, but I like this Grodd, and I like all of the figures here. I like the cape material. I like how the super jumper works. This version of Wonder Woman looks great. And I also like the Citizen, the truck driver. That's a great figure to use those parts, or even to use the whole thing around any kind of Lego scene. It's rare that I go through an entire set and don't find something to complain about moderately. Anything that I didn't like here was really small and really insignificant. So there you go. Those are my thoughts about Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas from Lego. If you have any thoughts you would like to share about the set, including if you completely disagree with all of my opinions and you hate this set, that's okay to say it as long as you share your thoughts in a respectful way. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope that you'll stick around to check out more, because more are on the way very soon.